there is the Braum.
Will just be the Braum in the end. So interesting the fact that they banned specifically the Nautilus Leona and then went the Braum, you know, because I feel like the Rel handles the matchup a bit better than those two comparatively.
Yeah.
But maybe was trying to not give away their intentions. A lot of mind games. But so far, you know, I think a lot of dive potential on the side of Hanwha Esports with that top side that they have and the threat onto, you know, the Rise in particular. But I think Nongshim have a good amount of scaling in their Gwen. The Corki we've seen really ramp up over the later stage of the game. And the Rise as well. It just comes down to whether they can protect their backline when it comes to those team fights.
Yeah, I think this comp for HLE, if they can stabilize, will be really scary as we get later on. But all right, Hanwha fans pretty loud here in Lol Park today. But the Noodles, not shy either. Situation here as Kingen is in so much trouble. He did have a ward, but it's a bit of a see your death ward as over he goes. Oh, Q going to miss. It's going to be 2 more autos, but the tank was there.
Want to take aggro. Peanut, when he gets aggro at the end, still has a W to get away. He didn't have to burn flashes there.
The flash forward here from Delight as that's a couple more autos. The piercing light, he's going to get it for Viper, and now Lahens just having to beg his former AD carry to not kill him. And I don't know whether...
And now,
all right,
for a potential fight, Peanut just wants to scuttle crab his team.
A little bit of a 4v4. There's the flash in from Lahens. The exhaust down onto Peanut, but the flash out from Gideon will spell his demise. And that's another kill going over to Viper. Concussive blows are just so broken as Lahens will get. So does he. So it's a little bit of a scary situation here. Zeus has made those plays in the past, but...
He had full snip charges. I'm not sure. What are they called?
Yeah, we'll go snip charges.
Yep. Well, he had full snip charges. I think not wanting to play a dangerous game with them. And when you're 20 CS ahead already in the matchup with an assist as well, why would you?
Yep.
Why would you chance it?
Well, that is going to be the grub.
The situation just means the kill pressure for Kingen is non-existent now.
Well, this is also a difficulty as Viper with the culling is just going to layer it into Lahens' back. The Magnus Storm comes down, but it's a bit late, and it's still the death of this Rel. It's going to spell time here for HLE to take this first dragon.
I feel like we're just struggling, just trying to find somewhere on the map where it just doesn't look horrific for Nongshim right now, and it's like the camera's panning.
Yeah,
it's
like Jonas Strong is looking for the stuff that's safe to show on Dies in this 2v1. Going between worlds for Zeus here as the needlework's going wide, and now everything's gone wrong in the mid lane. Peanut will just settle for the kill on Lahens. That's going to be his second of the game. You can see a bit frustrated in the player cam as HLE look to grab some more plates as there's the flash forward. Delight just says you're not allowed to be here, buddy. Welcome back to the LCK. There is a lot for you to learn. But there is an Aurora in the area. Peanut's making his way up as, oh dear. He shows them the door. Peanut's going to get turned on though. This could be a danger as he does use the Warrior Trickster to try and get out, but it's not going to allow him to escape. And Gideon's going to lock that one down. That shockwave onto 2 is so good out of Zeka though. And alongside the culling, they are just going to massacre them. Peanut did fall down. He's been doing that a bit so far this season as there's some snips for Kingen as he grabs one on the back end. But Zeus not wanting to let him leave. Concussive blows there as the Braum still helping even though he's off screen. Zeus, yeah, he's even got a command protect there to help him out. Kingen just doing the best he can, but it's just not going to be enough. And Zeus will lock down that kill. Calix says, this is way better. Why don't I just stay away from his big number?
It is. That is.
Sometimes the play-by-play's job is to just, you know, say the obvious thing, okay?
At least they got some kills on the board. You know, if you look at the gold graph, there was those little dips.
It's a bit undulating, you're right.
Oh, that tower's pretty low. They could look for that. That tower's also pretty low, that's gone.
Bounty
Top
gold.
tower also pretty
Bounty gold, right? All right, Zeus going to make a circle, try and get himself to the other side of it. Will be able to do so. Trigger going to be chasing after him here. Zeus still does a fair bit of damage, but there is the rocket. Oh, no! Oh, that is such a gimme.
There's like 10 HP.
That is so unfortunate here for Trigger. As Lahens not wanting to let him get away with it, but unfortunately he has got away with it.
As well, if they'd gotten that kill. I mean, they got a lot of gold from these towers. If they'd gotten that kill as well, it could have been a big swing.
Yeah, Delight also may have gone in a little bit early here as he's taking a lot of damage. Never mind, I underestimated the door. Sometimes that is just a thing that happens. As needlework going to be demonstrated here nicely. Zek's going to return the favor here by taking the inner turret on the top side of the map.
Is Braum balanced?
not looking like it.
Got
That's
a bit
true.
protected bounty.
It's about percentage.
Exactly.
You know, total goal.
You know what? Things have been dire.
Yeah. You're allowed to cope a little. It's fine.
That was a little bit less dire. You know?
Yeah.
A couple of towers in the bag. Good job, Nongshim. You know, they haven't given up yet.
And look, you may have just lost a dragon, but guess what? Didn't lose a team fight as well.
Actually, Gideon has a gold lead.
There
Quickly
you
look at
go.
it before it goes away. Quickly.
Well, Gideon is now going to have to flash to get out of the way of the shockwave. He will be able to at least do that. Rift Herald going to come down and allow this turret to be taken as Kingen realizing that he is just going to have a terrible time unless he teleports out, and he is going to be able to do that.
I hope you looked at the gold lead because it's gone now.
Yes. No, I did. Believe me, I did. It said 20, something like that. And now it's going to be it's going to be a bit redder.
But hey, they're doing the cross map. This is, honestly...
There we go.
This is pretty good.
Gideon. And Delight just going to face check because he can. Throws down the ulti. Gideon getting a back massage, but does have the ulti to keep himself alive. Now the AoE's working. Shockwave lands on it too, though. And immediately the Gwen and the Rel hit the dust. And down goes the Corgi soon after. Viper able to lock down that kill. And, yep, I'm running out of those cope options there, Orcs, as HLE are just looking a little too strong.
Yeah, kind of hard to cross map a team fight, unfortunately. And they just get low H. Oh, whoa, there.
We are. What? Oh, no, Trigger! That was not even his fault! Oh, Calyx, why are we doing this? We're going between worlds, and Zeus is just bouncing around the fight, picks up a triple. Peanut turns up, he's like, what the heck is going on? I guess I'll help my top laner get a quadra, and there it is for Zeus. Oh, God, I never want to see a roam up like that ever again. That hurt.
Welcome back to the LCK.
Oh, God. You know what a throw, because Zeka threw them around as... Speaking of which, that's another one range with the Gwen. Sometimes that's hard, but not this time, as there is a kill for Viper, just mopping up the Xin Zhao. Crescent Guard not going to be helping him here as Calyx. Where are we? We're winding up the clockwork here, says Zeka. He just needs another combo, and an attempted escape is just not going to happen.
Take the kill, Delight.
Oh, there we go!
Do
That's
the damage.
a powered up Q!
You're the carry. You know, I just feel like...
He's 2-0-14, he has a better scoreline.
We were going from person to person, and I feel like we were seeing people doing loads of damage. We were seeing, you know, just explosive bursts with so many members, and I'm just glad Delight's getting in it. He's like, yeah, I can do it too. He's just showing up. We have a 25 stack Medjay's and Zeka, so he's kind of pumping too.
Yeah, that was a 9 stacks.
Look at him go!
Oh my God, he's kind of alone. The rest of them are now trying to turn up here. Zeus, bounces to the other side of the world. He's gonna kill Trigger one more time as Delight says, yeah, bring it on. Down to 200 health, not scared at all. Magnetstorm comes in, and then Magnetstorm goes out. Cyclone looking a little bit better than that, as now Gideon gonna get knocked off for the second time. Decides to go back in because he knew there was no hope. And it's now an 8-0-7 legendary Aurora on the top side of the map as HLE pushed to win this game.
Look, sorry, I don't want to correct you or anything, but you said he's kind of alone. Brom's never alone, but he's got his Poros with him.
Oh,
right?
That is actually a really good point. I'm sorry. It's like saying Bard is alone.
Exactly. He has his backup. This is the Giga Chad Brom. And he's doing his best, right? King and Calyx, they're going to try, but actually holding Peanut off a little bit here.
Yeah, taking some needlework. Looking a little bit worried about it. Well, he's not actually looking worried about it. I can't lie. But at least Nongshim will be able to clear out this wave. Nexus turret's now in a little trouble.
Wait, Delight?
Yeah, he decided to go back. He's now going to spellbook himself a teleport.
But he just bought redemption for the help. He recalled so he can restore everyone else's health. Look at this!
Oh, I thought it was going to be a damage redemption.
Wait, and Peanut missed it!
Yeah, he didn't manage to get in. That was very funny. As Zeus goes between worlds and just does so much damage to everyone. Zeka as well going to help out there as you've got also Viper just tearing them to shreds. There's that shockwave we were waiting for. And HLE, yeah, they make short work of Nongshim here in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think HLE had a lot of fun that game. You could tell the vibes are good.
That's what I'm thinking. Having a look here at the damage graph, HLE did damage and their opposition didn't do as much.
You know what, Delight, you really tried to beat out Peanut and you were close. Good effort.
Very close.
Maybe need to build.
That's Silas top. Kingen's cooking again. Kingen's cooking again. And he's got some pretty fun ultimates, obviously, in, Glacial Prison and Equalizer are both very, very good if you're going against the 2v2 on the top side of the map. But Fate Sealed is also pretty good coming out of Zeka. So let's see what the answer is going to be here from Delight.
And if you go Nico here, it's such a good ult for Sylas as well.
Yeah. And the big bad Brad. Yeah, Tempered Fate is a harder one to utilize effectively.
I wonder if that was a factor in the decision in the end that came through to go Bard instead off the Nico. Maybe didn't want to give over that ult. Also, the Leona matchup. But either way, so a lot of engage, very on theme composition for HLE. Dive the backline and look for that. Nongshim, much more about kite back peel and play around those 2 late game carries and see if you can keep Calyx and Trigger alive and they can deal that DPS. Interested to see what King can do in this top lane matchup with the Sylas into the Rumble.
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't sound like the most fun matchup.
Sounds like...
So the cool thing about Nongshim's comp is that they basically have a build your own Sejuani trying to do.
Yes,
but they missed, and so instead it was just throwing grapes across the room.
Trundle's mouth isn't big.
All right, there's a flash out, but the flash to follow immediately is Calyx. Not going to quite get finished off here by Zeka, but still, that's putting a fair bit of fear in him.
That was single digit health right there. So Calyx very close to surviving. But does manage to keep himself alive. Fortunately, Zeka nearly getting the angle there, getting in there to save. And you know, despite the fact the scoop and chomp didn't work, his jungler does back him up, just keep him alive. So
to deny the damage on the Void Seeker.
I feel like barrier usage has become so liberal.
Yeah, I feel like everyone just presses the button. I don't even know whether I'm worried about it or what. All right. First grub going to be taking the flash forward from Delight. The flash out from Trigger is so awkward. Emperor's Divide hits the air. I hope that's what he was aiming for, as Zeka is now just going to get crushed here. Trigger follows him and grabs that kill. That's first blood as Peanut takes the magical journey to follow Delight. Flashes into the... May have been part of the mistake. That's all I got. Unless he was there, we just didn't really see him do very much. And it was just Zeka being turned on before much of anything could have really happened. I don't think he got an opportunity to even get his ult off. A Solar Flare is celebratory put down in this lane. Peanut moving in, Killer Instinct on top of Trigger. Viper gets the cleanse, flashes to pick up the kill onto the Sivir. Permafrost to lock down the hands. It's a double here for Viper. And at least this game, Nongshim had a couple of minutes of feeling good before HLE decided to destroy them, as that Cosmic Binding is going to go wide, get in. Moving underneath this turret, there's a chomp, but they don't have the scoop as the feats of warfare come in. There's the knock-up from Zeka, and not here in this lane. All right, we've got another little bit of an engagement here as Lehens is in the river and is no longer in the river. We're not at the caster desk anymore, we're at the caster Blanc.
Caster Blanc? Yeah.
Whoa.
It sounds
kind of fancy, doesn't it?
So nice. Oh, we've peaked, honestly.
I really do like being here on the caster Blanc with the Orcs.
I feel like, you know, we call things because they've been called out.
Just taken. Oh, Solar Flare is going to come through. Delight might just be dead, and he is. So there it is. Sometimes sticking around in for the Trundle. And Emperor's Divide is going to throw Delight away, but he still manages to land it. Tempered Fate comes in, denies the Winter's Wrath damage, but Zeka just wants to come through, grabs that Q to take him down, and somehow it's in fact Viper that gets the kill, who just pressed R and said, no, I'll have that.
That's pretty stylish from Delight, honestly. Calyx, a little bit late with a flash, gets stunned anyway, and served up on a platter to the rest of the team. And HLE going to take this tower in the bot side as well. Will deliver them feats of strength. Yeah, starting to feel a little...
I would have been really cute and confused as well. All right, I think we've seen this play before, but this time Zeka doesn't have the backup. He does unbind the soul. What goes out must come back, and he is just dead. Yeah. 7 seconds until the ulti was back, but I don't think that would have saved him either. And now Nongshim able to take down this outer turret on the bottom side of the map as well. HLE had already locked down the feats of strength, so that first turret blood going down for them on the top side had already happened. Still, pulling some gold back in the lead, only 1.5 is not gigantic, and I feel like the game was well and truly over at this point in the last game, as Delight Tempered Fate, but it just buys a little bit of time, make sure that this tower doesn't go down, as Rift Herald will be secured here by HLE.
They're doing stuff. They're getting stuff done. They're making stuff happen. They haven't completely...
No. Can we find the ulti? The answer is no, and Calyx actually uses it as an opportunity to pick up Zeka. Now Lehens making his way over, and the Sand Soldiers making short work of the Yone. A little bit. They've also got the first two Drakes. going to be pretty comfortable as Gideon with a bit of a chomp. And now Trigger could be in trouble. There's the knock-up onto Lehans. He has Eclipse, but oh dear, they are preparing the Sivir for afterwards. The Equalizer comes down. Killer Instinct here from Viper, who really wants to confirm a kill in this fight. Equalizers are everywhere right now as the Void Seeker comes on through, and Zeus, yeah, he's just a walking flamethrower. And even Shelly is getting involved here as Peanut chasing after Lehans. Oh no! That's how he kills his former teammate. And they are going to look for Soul Point as well. Kingen is done with this. He's going to look to push in mid, and will be able to taxi his way out with that Raptor camp. But yeah, they're taking Dragon, they're pushing mid, and they're pushing bot lane as Peanut cannot land an ult to save his life. Another Emperor's Divide going to hit too, but this time the Pigeon Man is going to go down. Peanut just one more, and he's going to be dead as Kingen and Viper are fighting. Viper now looking for one more Void Seeker. Wants to be able to destroy this turret and should be able to do so because Kingen cannot walk up, and there it is. And Zeka in the meantime, while all of this was happening, was just on this Drake.
Yep, Zeka fixed with the Drake,
they'll probably let us know. They liked the tempo vibes though when that came through, so that helped my confidence.
Well, I
feel like the Caster Blanc could be great. I saw Digon write in chat, Caster Blanc in all caps. I don't know what necessarily that means, but it might mean that this Otacon is going to get started from HLE and could be a dangerous time. Lehans, the Eclipse is on cooldown, the Equalizer actually to break up the fight here as Zeka was looking for a bit of an angle, doesn't quite get there. It's going to be a 50-50 as Trigger not going to get hit by that one, and it's the Brad that unseals the spellbook to get the smite. Emperor's Divide sweeps up two immediately. They do take down the Azir to punish him for that sick play, but it's still a big one, and what goes out must come back. As it's the Silas that takes down the Yone and really there. See whether Nongshim can fight for this dragon. It is Cloud Soul Point for HLE. They lock this down. They're going to be running real fast as Kingen finds an Equalizer. The flash forward. Another ulti goes to Narnia, but the ult's there from Zeka to lock down Calyx, and this time the Emperor's Divide divides by 0, and it does absolutely nothing. Cosmic Binding is a flash there from Delight. He tries to get himself out of the play, but now it's the Viper show as he dives on top of everyone, gets the triple, and there's the follow-up. Quadra kill for Viper, and maybe it's just as over as game one.
Viper just refuses to lose. He is putting this game on his back. Delight comes in with a clutch ult as well.
Just because Zeka decided to look at him.
That's enough. You know, they put the pressure on Calyx. He does have TP, but it's going to be gone before he can get back on the map.
Yeah. There's not even Smite for Delight this time. In fact, no one really needs Smite. Viper is just going to take it. He's got 3.5 items, and the Red Bull Baron power play starts now as Nongshim, oh dear, their lunch money just kind of getting taken away. As the Equalizer on the minion wave is an interesting choice. I think HLE looking for a bit of a reset before they do go for their Baron push, but instead, I think maybe they're considering just winning. An ultimate landed here from Peanut as Kingen. Just no chance to throw one back, and the Silas will just be torn from this plane. Zeka also splitting on that top side, and HLE, oh man, when we had a game on our hands like a second ago, and I know Chronicler told me that curses aren't real, but I felt like maybe I'm responsible. Maybe that was a curse.
There is something I want to bring your attention to. I'm not sure we're gonna have much time left in the game. They're gonna blow open the base. What is? I did see it pop up when he built it, but I wasn't sure if it was legit.
All right.
Let's continue with what's happening on screen.
Okay, Lehans is dead. There is the Fate sealed as well, collecting 2. The Fate, the Tempered Fate, gonna hold them all together as Calyx trying to get himself out, but Trigger, no way to do so. And HLE, I think they're just gonna follow this next minion wave into the base, unless, no, there is a teleport back here. Delight bringing a redemption in. As there are teleports, in fact, coming from everywhere.
It's the same play, the recall TP redemption to heal up on the final push.
And they turned the Equalizer into a 7. That was kind of cool on the ground there as Calyx, oh dear, going for the play, does manage to find the Rumble, but he immediately dies. You blink and you miss it. As there's the knock-up onto Kingen as well. Permafrost not going to come on through there as, yeah, Viper is going to be taken out. Zeka now looking to try and find something back, but they're very tanky, is Lehans and Gideon. Maybe not anymore now that the Eclipse is down, but then it comes back up again.
It goes up soon.
All right. Well, I don't think Lehans is going to be killing Zeka at any point, and Trigger is going to respawn, so the game will continue. You get to talk about that thing that popped up.
That's good, because now we have time to discuss something in...
Well, Gideon,
yeah,
dead.
Not that.
He went into his own...
Okay, now you got to have a look.
well, sometimes you just want a Manamune. Another ulti going to connect there onto Lehens this time around. Azeka's going to look to finish that one off. The Fate Sealed comes on through, but his target, I think, was dead before he even made it over there. The Rumble grabs the double. Viper's going to finish off the Silas. We'll never see the Manamune value as Calyx once again finding an ulti. This time the Brad going to go down, but not before throwing out the Tempered Fate and setting it up for Viper to knock it down. Only Lehens left alive as HLE will complete the 2-0 and look a whole lot better than their first week. I think getting some good night's sleep has certainly helped out as they've moved to the second week of this round. HLE looking scary here today.
I think there's a lot of discussion